interesting. It was really cool. Our last reader tonight is Lisa Olstein. And before Lisa reads and before I finish introducing her, let me thank everybody again for coming out to Malvern Books. It's just our pleasure to run this little store here and have this many people in. It's just really exciting. And I have to mention that everybody's got books on sale right over there on the big table over there. And we are running our annual sale. That's my plug for the night. Thank you. Okay, Lisa Olstein is the author of 3 poetry collections, most recently, Little Stranger. This fall, Essay Press will release, and I'll try to say this right, The Resemblance of the Enzymes of Grasses to Those of Whales is a Family Resemblance. I got it. A winner of the 2015 chapbook contest. A new full-length collection, Late Empire, is forthcoming from Copper Canyon Press in 2017. Lisa?
Thanks so much for being here, and thanks again so much to Malvern Books, to Joe and Becky and everybody who runs it. I think Malvern opened a couple of months after I moved here. And I can't imagine life in Austin without it. Am I the only poet tonight? Or were you wearing your... Okay. I had a really, really busy day, and I raced here from Meet the Teacher Night at my kid's school, and it was one of those things where it was like, prepare to teach, and race to a meeting, race to the next meeting, race to Meet the Teacher Night. And I was like, dude, I'm doing it. I'm going to make it on time. And I raced into the bathroom and I realized that my skirt was on inside out and upside down. And I don't know how it got that way. It's all good now. So I'll read a few poems. It all lights up. It's hard to feel spry in any room they've pushed you in or out of, as if the walls remember the wheels, their muted whine, and your own whimpering cries as rosy-fingered dawn licked you clean with her rough tongue. We're all going to die, you've heard 1,000 times from your own mother's mouth. You never believed her, how could you? She invented life. But then one day, stuck in traffic, you catch yourself muttering the line, and it sticks. And every stupid argument comes back to you, stupider still, and your petty feelings about the special employee of the month parking space, and all those nights you settled for takeout and a blindfold. Here at the university, the corridors are labeled corridor. The visualization laboratory is dark. Inside, scanning for shark-shaped shadows, the surfer knows to borrow the seal's suit. You borrow its nightmares too. Maybe today's species are outdated modes of technology, and this is why we give them up so easily. Sometimes there's a glitch in the system. Fatal errors occur. Have you ever been to a pet store and had it make you feel sad? That's where this poem may have come from. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Maestro, meet me in the dark. The truth is, we prefer it this way. Stumble gay and keening, preening, like the black-tongued parrots on permanent display. Herman, the giant German rabbit, suffers exactly 1 fool per day. The smiling silver one, bringing him food on a scuffed aluminum tray. Past a certain age, you don't ask a woman how she does her hair, no matter how elaborate the braid. Straight queens and dry drunks, fellow former future kings, the gerbils of Kazakhstan, desert rats in point of fact, have something to tell us about death riding shotgun in our subway cars. Life is always left-handed. Sleeping bees are immobile bees whose bodies and legs hang in the direction of gravity. Lucky ones who find homes don't expect the left behind to thank you for remembering them. Achilles really loved that girl. Leave me to it, let me have it, where the fuck have you been? Orange-lipped moon, Oriole's inflamed breast, did you see it, blah, blah, blah. Sing for, sing so, singed eyebrows and forearms from the funny little explosion, baby's favorite party trick. Watch me now. Lean in a little closer, I like your blouse, or maybe it's that I like your body in it. To tell the truth, I lie a little, add a few here, take a few there. Good fortune next to bad is awkward, unseemly, but good next to good loses a little luster, doesn't it? Professor, Lisa, hey girl, I found the work a little weak, maybe a little bit unconvincing. I felt like the author was always letting herself off the hook, like maybe it needed a longer runway. I could always tell where the drift was heading. I might have written that when I was angry. I have a extended set of poems that, where each poem uses a specific chapter in Gaston Bachelard's The Poetics of Space as an exclusive word bank. And I had all kinds of rules that I'd be very happy to tell you about in terms of lifting just very short phrases and recombining them to create entirely new syntax and image and hopefully meaning. And so I was just going to read a couple from that series. The series is called Shimmer Here, Shimmer. Preface. Remember the feel of the latch, a group of organic habits, such simple structures. In storm, storm makes sense of shelter. Imagine living in a seashell, shrinking enough to be contained. By clear-eyed words, can one hear oneself close? The rote of the sea, the roar of, the glint. 1. Simple exercises for the phenomenology of the imagination. We begin to dream of nothing in the night. This then is the main problem. To dream of nothing in the night, we are carried back to the land of motionless childhood. What a strange thing it is, fossilized duration. We are never real historians. We once loved a garret. Was the room a large one? A matter for the biographer. The biographer prepares his explosions in the theater of the past to illustrate an instant's freezing. These drawings need not be exact. What would be the use? You would like to tell everything. I have already said too much. In every country, a house constitutes a body. Fear in the cellar, in the attic, rats. The tiniest latch has remained in our hands, names of things we knew. Dumas is crying because Dumas has tears. One very dark night set the waves. Think of the road this way. What is more beautiful than a road? Geographers are always reminding us of an underground horizon, such a complicated geometry. Night dreams just in front of me, of a hut, of a nest, like an animal in its hole is a distant glimmer. How many scattered wolves alone before God, like fireflies, like so many invitations. Now, still, we could start a new life. 2. The reverse of the function of inhabiting. Housewifely, the housewife awakens reaping an imaginary field. The house test. Every morning, every object, a working draft, a ready-made invitation to the mountains to come back through the window. Airy structure, long did I build you in the blue incense of a red-letter day. A flower lived where we lived and called it home. But the question is more complex than that. The house remodels the man. The cell of a body, having been a refuge, becomes a cyclone. Between the notary and the air, the iron hooves of dream geometry, later, always later, the house of the future is better, a nest already, and when you are there, you would like to be. It's always like that. The gesture of closing is briefer than that of opening. In the tiniest of hatreds, an animal filament, a sleeping insect in its red night. Out the shadow, show the hatchlings this dove was a hospitable ark, A winged house makes good flour from storms. 3, a theorem of infinite space. All words do an honest job, the hurried reader responds in passing. A slight pain, a mild shock, the rudiments of a story. This time, in little mirrors stopped with sleep, a very white almond appears. Concepts are drawers not open to just anybody, here and there in the brain, keepsake boxes. There will always be more things in a closed than in an open box. What good things are being kept in reserve, objects friendship, folded in the russet wood between the flanks of the wintry meadow. Objection overridden, erudite minds lay in provisions, an anthology of mechanized debates. On page 80 of the 26th edition, you touched what you were touching. Sufficiently lavendered, under a button, under a leather tongue, what soft words cut the story short? Nothing more to confess, every secret has its little casket. In other words, a secret is a grave. A casket is a dungeon as cold as a police record we should also like to open. A lock is a threshold, an invitation to thieves. Well-guarded secret, slender casket, the lock doesn't exist that could resist these closing calls. Thanks.